Hello and welcome to what is going to be the final episode of my Vlogmas series. Yes, I failed. I didn't do 25 lists in 25 days. We are, I think, 6 short by the time this video comes out, but I did want to end on a high, and that is going through with the Parachute Rifle Company for the Battle of the Bulge. Nuts. So we can see here the 101st Airborne Division is one of the latest box sets that have been released. In the box set, you can see you get a lot of infantry, a little bit more experienced infantry than their Volksgrenadier counterparts. You can see that we've got a few rifle companies here, some mortars, artillery, anti-tank, recon patrol, plus some additional extras, some lovely Band of Brothers extras in here, which is really nice, as well as some nice objectives, as well as some tokens and dice. But this set is the 101st Airborne Division for the Battle of the Bulge. So these are experienced paratroopers. They've been through Normandy as well as Market Garden, and now they've been rushed to the front lines in the Ardennes to stop that German drive to the port city in Antwerp. So what are we going to do? We're going to go to Flames of War, Forces of War V4, and we're going to go to New Force. We're going to go down to Bulge American, and we're going to go to the Bastogne Parachute Rifle Company. Obviously, you can pick Glider if you wanted to, but we want to go with the Parachute Rifle Company. We're going to start new. So just confirming, in the box set we have a HQ, we have 2 rifle platoons, a mortar platoon, artillery battery, as well as anti-tank platoon and some recon. Alright, so we've got to go with HQ, and we've got a few other bits in there. Okay, so the Parachute HQ for the Screaming Eagles is just 2 chaps, well, 2 stands I should say, with Thompson SMG, so their stats are amazing. Fearless at the 3+, that nuts, which is the last stand of 2+. Typical Americans not wanting to give up so easily, which is just fantastic. And then the skill of a 3+, they hit on a 4+, and they save on a 3+. So the Thompson is your typical SMG, which I seem to say with all these infantry companies we've looked at. The Holter rate of fire of 3 and moving 3, firepower of a 6+, anti-tank of 1. So yeah, not great, but they're our HQ, so we've got to take them. So 2 of those for 3 points. God, that's costly. Then we're going to go to the Bastogne Parachute Rifle Platoon. We can see that we've got 7 M1919 and M1 Grand Rifle teams, 1 60mm bazooka and 1 M1 bazooka, or you can take the lower option of the 5, so it's 15 points for the top and 12 for the bottom. You can add in a second bazooka if you so wish, and up to 2 LMG teams. Again, the stats remain exactly the same as per the HQ. The only difference is they actually get the observer rule here, which means that they can spot for friendly artillery, which is really nice. Just means you have to take an observer. That is my understanding of it, at least anyway. And I've confirmed with the rulebook, and that seems to be the case. I did not know that. That is really cool, and it saves us having to take an OP. Obviously they won't be able to shoot in that particular turn though if they are observing for artillery. Again, that's my understanding of the rules. So the M1919 gives you rate of fire of 2 and halted, and rate of fire of 1 when moving. M1 bazooka team gives you rate of fire of 1 and tank 10 at firepower 5+. They are slow firing, so if you are moving and shooting, they're going to take a penalty. 60mm mortar acts as artillery, gives you anti-tank 1, firepower 4+. It's going to be great at helping to pin infantry platoons or gun teams, for example. They're heavy weapons, so their assault isn't as good. Assault of 4+, and then the optional M19 LMG is a rate of fire of 5, which is pretty nice. Rate of fire of 2 when moving, and tank 2 and firepower 6. The assault on a 4+. So let's just have a look. What are they giving us in here? Oh, they're giving us the full complement. So we've got 7 stands plus 1 mortar plus 2 bazookas plus 2 LMGs for 18 points. Whoa. Okay, 16. My God, these are going to be expensive. Okay, so 2 of those. That takes us to 21 points. Then we're repeating that with this one, I'm assuming. Yep, another 18 points worth. And the rule of the game, guys, is you have to use everything that's in the box. So you might be thinking, I wouldn't be taking that much, but let's use everything that's in the box. So we know that they've got a mortar team as well, and they've got 4 stands for 8 points. Again, expensive. The stats are exactly the same. The only difference is they are a heavy weapon, so they assault on a 4+. These guys are going to be carrying their mortar into assault, so you're not going to be wanting to assault with these guys. Artillery with a range of 40 inches, so that covers most of your normal table, 100 centimeters, or at least the important areas. Anti-tank of 1 and firepower of 4+. They do a smoke bombardment, which is perfect. 4 stands with that smoke bombardment is going to give you quite a nice little smoke screen. So yeah, we can go ahead, hit 4 for 8 points. That's great. Did they have the 75mm artillery? Yes, they did. You would have thought I would remember that. So we've got the Bastogne Parachute 75mm artillery battery. 4 for 12 points. Wow, okay. 4 for 12 points. Again, stats are very, very good though. The assault on a 4+. So time on target means that you will re-roll saves if you ranged in on your first attempt. So the enemy are re-rolling saves, obviously. So they get a range of 64 inches, which is great. Anti-tank of 2, firepower 4+. So they're slightly better than the mortars, obviously double the range. They do fire a smoke bombardment, which is great. We've got 20 inches of fire 2, anti-tank of 6, and firepower 3+. So if somebody tries to be a little bit sneaky with their recon vehicles to try and take these guys out, then they've got a pretty good gun to sort of defend themselves. So we've got 12 points for them. The other option, if you wanted to come away from the box there, is the Bastogne Glide 105mm artillery battery. 6 of those for 22 points, or 3 for 105. 3 for 11. Stats are exactly the same as the other gun. Oh no, they are confident for veteran free. Just confirming. Fearless free, veteran free. Okay, yeah, so they aren't as good, and their last stand isn't as good. They're 3+. But they do the anti-tank fire 3, firepower 3+. So that is actually slightly better, but you can take 3. So that might be an option if you wanted to take a glider battery. But for the sake of this little video, we're having to take everything within that box set. Now they also have 4 anti-tank guns for 11 points. I've already seen that, so sorry for ruining that for you guys. So the stats are exactly the same as the guns that we just saw before. The actual weapon itself is a 57mm gun, which gives you a range of 28 inches, anti-tank 10, firepower 4+. It doesn't have HE. So my understanding of HE was that it couldn't fire at infantry. That apparently isn't the case. It can fire at infantry. You just need to add a 1+ to the score to hit. So there you go. It's not all that bad if you did want to fire at some infantry. So 4 of those for 11 points. Okay, so then we go to 70. We're on 70 points. Oh my god. Okay, so return to formation, and we still got jeeps to add in. So there's 4 jeeps for 4 points. Fearless free, last stand of a 4, and veteran free. So the last stand isn't as good. You'd expect that. They're in jeeps, so you're not going to be wanting to take too much flak in the jeeps, that's for sure. They've got 50 cal machine guns though, so the anti-tank is 4 and the firepower is 5+. That's not too bad for a little tiny jeep. Rate of fire 3 when halted, 2 when moving. They save on a 4. They don't have any armor save or anything. It's literally just a tank, and you can see there just how vulnerable they would be to small arms fire. They get the scout and spearhead rules, which is also really nice. So in this list already, we've got 74 points, but we do have artillery, we have an observer, we have infantry. Observers is in our rifle platoons. You probably don't want to be leaning on them to be your observers though, but obviously HQ can probably do that as well. So we've got enough artillery, we've got some anti-tank guns, and we've got some jeeps. What this list is desperately missing now is some tanks. And some heavy tanks at that, and I don't think we're going to squeeze those in for 74 points. Also at Bastogne, we know that there was a tank company. So not going to be able to afford AA, I don't think. We just need to put in some Shermans here. The question is, what Shermans? Or do we go the M18 tank destroyer platoon? Anti-tank 12, firepower 3+, 4 for 16 points. Okay, it's just they're not as expensive as I thought, but they are very, very vulnerable. And there's some stats there. We'll take a look at these in a minute. But then what about if we wanted to go the M36 tank destroyer platoon and tank 14, firepower 3 plus 24 points for 4 of those. That's not leaving us with much to play with. The other option is Shermans, but you're not going to get the 80 of 12, so you could take a couple of 76mm guns, 5 for 20, and then you get the option of replacing some with a late 75mm, late 76, replacing a 75mm to an easy 876, or just to a 76, or replace it to a jumbo 75 or a jumbo 76 for 3 points. Well, jumbos would be nice, but that's 20 points. But then at least they'd be able to take a hit. If we went 4 Shermans, replaced one with a 76mm, so that gives us 80-12. But that's 19 points already. And then we added just some ordinary 76mm Shermans for 1 point. We can replace the other 3 with them. So they've all got 80-12. So you get the confident 4, remand 3, last stand 3. So that's good. They're trained. They're hit on a 3 though. Now that is a bummer. Front armor 7, side armor 4. We haven't got any. Did we get any easy 8s? No. M4 jumbos though. Front armor 11, side armor 8. Hit on 3 again. Stats are the same. 76mm gun gives us 80-12 firepower 3 plus. They've got stabilizers, which means they can shoot at the same rate whilst they're moving, but they do take a hit because of stabilizers, I believe. Let me just consult the book. Yeah, so it adds a penalty of 1+ to hit, but you can opt not to use the stabilizer. So yeah, that's nice. And the 76mm 80-12 firepower 3 plus, but that's the biggest gun we're gonna have. I'm just trying to think. Coming up against King Tigers, there's no gun that we're gonna have that's gonna do any damage to those. Tigers, I think front armor of 9, if I'm not mistaken, or is that a Panther? But 80-12 against those at range, let's say 10, if you're using the stabilizer rules, because you're adding a 1 to hit. You could still get lucky. I like the front armor of these at 11. That could potentially bounce a Panther round of 14, but we only get the 1 that's protected, so that seems a bit silly, doesn't it? Let's just add it in and see what we're left with. 96 points. Okay, so maybe we can get some AA in. M15-16. Yeah, so we can get 2, and I like these. I just like the look of them, to be honest. But they're hitting a 3. Confident 4, counterattack 6, trained 4, assault 6. They hit on a 3, front armor 1, side armor and top 0. But they've got the 37mm gun, which is rate of fire 4 when halted, 2 when moving, and tank 5 and firepower 4 plus. So that firepower is pretty good. Slow firing, so again they're going to take a hit if they're moving. But then the quad 50 cal, rate of fire 3, moving 3. Sorry, rate of fire halted 5, moving 3, and tank 4, firepower 5 plus. 2 of those for 2 and 2 for 4 points. That takes us to 100 points. And this is all we've got to show for it. I mean, it is a lot. It's definitely a lot. But the more I look at this, the more I think, oh, it's a bit light, isn't it? But it's because it's such a highly rated company. 74 points for that core company, though, is what's really hurting us. So all we'd have to show for it is a jumbo Sherman and 3 other late Shermans. But at least that gives us a fighting chance against Panthers and Tigers. Obviously if they've got Panzer IVs and that's okay. Plus we've got the guns to protect us. This would be a defensive list, but then I'm looking at it like, oh yeah, easy. You'd have the M4 Shermans off and a parachute rifle platoon. Everything else comes on. Alright, so this is what I would do with the list that... Sorry, this is what I'll do with the box set that you get with Flames of War. It keeps it cheap as well. You're only having to get 2 other box sets to fill this out. You could go the other route and just go the 4 tank hunters. I think they were cheaper, all with 80-12, but then you stand no chance. If you take some hits, you're going to just lose that platoon pretty quickly. So this is a defensive list. Now, I'm tempted to potentially try and tweak this a little bit and make it more of what I want, and that's what I'm going to do. So we've done the list. Now let's just quickly just spend 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and just amend this slightly. So for 15 points, we've got a lot here. I do like the addition of the 2 MGs, giving us that extra firepower, but because it's late war, I'm going to get rid of those for now. Just bear with me, okay? I'm not trying to make anyone unhappy. So we get rid of the Jeeps as well. I'm not a big fan of the Jeeps. They look awesome, by the way. I'm a fan of them that way. Now the question is, we don't need all this artillery. I think if you're going to waste points on artillery, I'd rather go the 105mm artillery battery. When I say waste points, I mean they're very similar stats, these two. So I feel like I'll ditch these pack howitzers and I'll go with 305mm light artillery. It gives us the better firepower. We still get smoke bombardment, we still get the time on target. They can direct fire better as well than the other ones. The stats aren't as good, but that's okay. I think 3 for 11 is fine. Then with the anti-tank gun, I feel like 4 might just be overkill, and we can free up 3 points if we go for 3. Yes, they're going to be vulnerable to artillery, but I've never been a big fan of taking 4 guns, especially if they're only 80-10. I mean, even that is, they're only going to be good at dealing with panzers, hetzers, and not much else. Even they're going to struggle like against Stugs. I think Stugs have got a front armor of 7. If they're trying to shoot you at long range, then yeah, you're going to be struggling to penetrate. So let's just go 3 for now, just so we're keeping some stuff in the actual force. So we can return to formation, sorry, from the actual box set. That's freed up 12 points. So veteran M10 tank destroyer platoon, no. We could go the M18s for 16 points. We can't at the moment, but we would free up some points somewhere. That gives us an additional 12 inches, but then 12 inch anti-tank 12. That's still not great, is it? So we've got the mortars, we've got the light howitzers. But now I'm thinking, do we need the mortars? If we've got the light howitzers, we could free up 8 points. But then we're starting to really lose what we're trying to achieve here, but I'm going to do it. I feel like that doesn't have the time on target either compared to the other one, so let's ditch those. Let's just get rid of those. We can even, so now we can look at the M36 tank platoon. They can only get 2 for 12 points and tank 14. Do we get the 3-inch tow tank destroyer platoon? No, 12 inches, 12 again, so that's not good. P47s, I mean, they weren't flying around too regularly at this time, so that might be a bit silly. Don't really want to take Pershings. 2 for 19 and tank 14. So yeah, we don't really have much that's going to really help. We could go some more Shermans again, but these are better stats. They hit on a 4+. 20 points doesn't really get us too far. The M24 and tank 10. Oh, okay, that's not too bad, but that's the equivalent of using the anti-tank guns that we've got. The other question is, do we ditch those anti-tank guns and put in the mortars again? That might help pin. I think I'm going to go, these appeal to me. I think the stats are good. So what's the seek, strike and destroy rule? The rule lets your tank destroyers unit attempt a shoot and scoot movement all in the same time that they successfully made a blitz move. Okay, that's a nice little extra. And battle tank. Okay, I can't find out what battle tank is. Is that will have to be something you guys have to let me know in the comments section. But I think I actually like the appeal of these. They don't take any hits. They don't have stabilizers. They don't have HE, but again, that's just that 1+. So yeah, let's go 4 of these for 16 points, and they hit on a 4+. The armors aren't great. It's like having Marders that look cooler than Marders, to be completely honest. Confident 4, veteran 3, counterattack 6, assault on a 4+. Okay, so 96 points. That leaves us with 4. So we can scratch this AA platoon. Let's now go in here and we can re-add the mortar platoon if we wanted to, but we don't have. No, let's not do that. Let's ditch these anti-tank guns and go re-add the mortar platoon for 8 points. Then we can come in here, add in some. Do we want a Greyhound cavalry? 2 Greyhounds, a Jeep, and a 60mm Jeep, so the mortar Jeep. What does the Stuart recon? 1 Stuart, 1 Jeep, 1 mortar. Okay, maybe not that then. Maybe we will just throw in those Jeeps then. At least the Jeeps can zoom around. So let's go 4 Jeeps, and that gives us our Scout and Spearhead. I mean, I'm always harsh with these like universal carriage Jeeps. I like these Jeeps because they've got that 50 cal. That leaves us with 4 points, so we can then bulk these up again. Yeah, we can perfectly. 2 and 2. There we go, that's better. So what did we ditch? We ditched the 75mm guns for the 105mm, and then we ditched those anti-tank guns. I just don't think those anti-tank guns are worth the money. I mean, they are really good stats, but I think the M18 tank destroyers have got better AT, and that appeals to me more. Yes, they're going to be able to take hits, and if they take a substantial amount of hits, they're probably going to suffer badly. But then it only takes 1 good artillery strike on your anti-tank guns, and when they've already got anti-tank 10 as well, it's not great. So this is what I'm going to go with. This is what I think I'd be happy with. We've got our recon, we've got our artillery, we've got our infantry, and we've got our tanks, and it's a defensive list again. The M4 Sherman Late Tank Platoon and a Parachute Rifle Platoon would be in reserve. That would leave the HQ, a Rifle Platoon, the Mortar Platoon, the Artillery Battery, the Jeeps, as well as the Tank Destroyers on the table. Hopefully they'll be on there long enough to stop any attack in force. So just to reiterate, we've got the HQ, we've got the Bastogne Parachute Rifle Platoon, 7 stands of the M1919 and M1 Grand Rifle teams, 1 60mm mortar, 1 bazooka team. Then we got a carbon copy of that in the 2nd platoon. We've got 4 mortars, as well as 3 105mm light artillery, 4 Jeeps, 4 Shermans, and 4 18. In that 4 Sherman platoon, we've replaced 3 of them with the late 75mm variants. 6 variants, and then we've replaced another one with a jumbo 76 for 3 points. That takes us to 22 in total for that one. That takes us, so yeah, that takes us to 100 points. But you know what, the more I look at this, we've got bazookas in our, we've got the 60mm bazookas in our rifles. I feel like this is just a waste of money. So, and they don't have the time on target rule, so let's just get rid of those. I just don't want those mortars in there. Some of you might be screaming at the screen, don't do it, but I'm just going to do it. 8 points, and I'm also going to reduce by one of these machine guns. That takes us to 9 points, and then I'm going to go through and I'm going to add in a P47. I just want that protection from real heavy tanks. The P47 is confident 4, trained 4, hit on a 5, save on a 3, but it has 50 cal MGs, rate of fire of 4, and tank 5, firepower 5+, 500 pound bombs, and tank 3, firepower 2+. Then they have the HVAR rockets, artillery, obviously, so they're hitting on top armor with anti-tank of 5 and a firepower of 4+, on top armor of 5. Guys, that is really good. That should definitely deal with any of those heavy big cats that the Germans have got. So they only have to come on once or twice, and I think they'll make their money. They need to pay us back 9 plus a little bit extra just to make it worth the while. So yeah, I reckon these are our go-to. If we save that one, this is what the new force looks like. So we've just reduced that rifle company down slightly, and we've thrown in some thunderbolts instead. I think I prefer that. I like aircraft. Some people are pro aircraft, some people are against aircraft, but I like aircraft. Let me know in the comments section how you found this, what you would do differently. It's a very hard force to sort of bulk out in terms of tanks. There's a lot of infantry on the table, but unlike the Volkskrieger, where they're all just like terribly statted and you end up with like 45 points or something for everything you get, or 50 points, this one is really tricky because you're getting like 75 points worth, and yet you want to throw in at least some tanks, right? You need something. Give me something. So yeah, be interesting to know your thoughts on it, how you manage all this. Now, I did say this was the end of the Vlogmas series. Don't worry, I will do a monthly list building video. I think this has been fun and it's well worth doing. If that's something you're going to be interested in, you want me to keep doing these, then please let me know in the comments section. I know some of you have requested videos that I just haven't got around to doing. I have still got them noted down, so we will approach those in future videos if you want to see videos like this continue, because it's been a lot of fun, hasn't it? It really has been a lot of fun. Now, there is a video coming out on Christmas Day. You just have to wait and see what that is. It may or may not be Flames of War related. I'm not going to give anything away. It just means I haven't really got around to deciding what I'm going to do yet. But yeah, huge thank you goes out to my patrons and YouTube channel members for making videos like this possible. Special mention goes out to Patrick, Oscar and Panzer Jim for being those Panzer Aces. Thanks again for joining me on this Vlogmas series, guys. It's been an absolute ball. I hope you guys have a fantastic Christmas or holiday, whatever you're sort of supporting, and a fantastic new year. I'm going to leave it here, guys. I will catch you at the next one.